Today I'll be showing you how to set up a DNS server. So what a DNS server is basically a name server. So it's a name for an IP address. So for example, like google.com, instead of you type google.com instead of typing in the IP address for Google. So let's see how to do that. First of all, let's sign into our root. Next, we're gonna use yum what provides an SLOOKUP. So this gives us commands to look for files in the DNS. So like the IP address and the name of the server. Okay, once that's done, let's install the bind. This is the application for DNS. Okay, once that's done, then we're gonna add the ports for the DNS. So this would give us a success and already enabled, or both successes. Next, since we made changes to the firewall, we have to reload it. Once that's done, we have to edit the resolve for the DNS. So the resolve config file. So right. So first we have to add where the system will search for the DNS files, or mainly the DNS IP address and the name of the file. So we have search local domain niclin.org. Then we press next, and then we add the name of the IP address of the DNS that we want to control the traffic. We comment all the rest. Okay, so if we don't have this file, when we do a netstart command looking for the local domain, it will give us the loopback address. So let's add it. Exit. Let's add. So now we have to edit the server itself. So next we add our IP address for the CentOS. to the port 53, so that way it'll get a response from it. Okay, make sure that your semicolon is here. Next, we have to add our network to allow the query. Okay, format your document properly. So put space, make sure your semicolon there, and save the file. Exit. Now let's enable it. When we enable it, the name server. So when we shut down our CentOS, we don't have to come up. We don't have to come and say start again. It'll be already be enabled to start unless we stop it. Next we start the service. So systemctl start named, and then we check the status of it. Cool. Running and enabled. So now that we've done that, we have to edit our zones. So what we're gonna use for our zone, which is gonna be the name of the IP address, is niclan.org. So we type okay. And the reason why we are using var here is because that's the directory of the file or where we want the file to be located. Press save. Make sure that your document is formatted and that everything's there, and exit. Next, we have to add a reverse zone. So this gives us the IP address of the name. So if I type the reverse zone, that means it'll give us, if I type the forward zone, it'll connect with the IP address. And if I type the reverse zone, the IP address will connect with the name. Okay. Once we have our zones file set up, we have to add the zones to the name config file. So we go to add zones. So we edit back. So we go back to the name.config. Copy this zone here. Come to the bottom here. Paste. Do the same for the reverse zone. Right. Make sure that you have your semicolons and brackets. So for here and then here. And the reason why for the file we don't have to type in var/var/named is because in the directory here it's already there. So it will search this folder, this file, and so on. So we press save. Next, we do restart named. Since we made changes to the name server, we have to restart it. Next, we check the status of it. Okay, so everything's up and running. But let's just make sure that we have no like syntax errors or like anything that's not properly bracketed off or missing semicolons or anything. So we do that by checking here, named check conf. All right, so since we didn't get no error message or anything, that means it's good. Next, we check the other files as well. So we're looking for here is saying that the serial number is loaded or the serial is loaded as well as it's loaded okay. So here we are, loaded serial as well as it's okay. Next we do the reverse zone as well, and everything's good. So this is what I wanted to show you. So see how I have dig dash x. What's gonna happen is it's gonna give me an X domain error because the X domain, when you say dig dash X, is looking for an IP address, not a name. So you'll see that we'll get making a question for the which again answers because this file doesn't exist. It's not an IP address. So to correct this, we go dig, and there we have one query and one answer. So it is asking a question and it's getting a response. Now we do reverse zone, which is our IP address. And here we have one query and one answer. So that's good. Next, we're going to make sure that our CentOS is switched to NAT. Press OK. Then we come to our clients. We go to the internet setting here. Oh, make sure that your client is also in NAT. Right. Then we go to the internet. Then we go change that adapter settings. Click Internet 0. Properties. Internet Protocol version 4, IP4. Click Properties again. For me, I'm going to use my own IP address. So we go 192.168.100.143, just to make sure it's on the same gateway. So and for a gateway, we do 192.168.100.1. Next, we're gonna use the following IP DNS. So we type in the IP address of our server. Press OK. Close. It's taking a little while. So this could be a RAM issue as well, or a space issue. Okay. Next, we go to our command prompt. Click it. I had to wait for it to open. Right. So next, what we're going to type is ns lookup, and it will give us the name of our server as well as the IP address. So next, we're going to try the IP address to make sure that we get the name of the server. And here we have the name of the server and the IP address. That's my DNS server.